Good evening, everyone. Welcome into another episode of the football show with no name. So we have some typical cast members here. We got Big Jeff Fergalicious at the top right, and we got the commish joining us, gracing us with his presence tonight. And so we can talk a little fantasy football. We can talk real football because we have some shit going down. But more importantly, Ferg, how was Vegas?
G14 classified information. Merle had to sign an NDA when he got on the plane and left.
What happens in Vegas stays in Vegas, bro.
We didn't cause too much trouble. We just visited a few establishments, saw a couple of pasties, sung a little bit on a couple street corners. I mean, that's all we did.
So since this is an adult podcast, last time I went to Vegas in April for a bachelor party, and we went to a place called Little Darlings. That was in just outside of Old Vegas, and saw the #1 burlesque dancer in the world perform that night.
Okay, that's tragic.
It was. We
were
cool.
handing out Bibles outside of the hotel.
No, yeah, sure, handing out Bibles outside.
Bibles, trying to convert people over to the word of Lord Jesus Christ, our Savior. But we were not involved in any kind of activities that involved such as
goodness gracious,
dollies or whatever other places we saw.
What I learned,
we got to go back though. We got to go back for a part two.
What I learned in Vegas is that every part of the day is the same.
Yeah,
there is no nighttime, there is no daytime, there is no afternoon, there is no evening. It is all Vegas.
What I learned in Vegas is that children do not have bedtimes. Because I don't know why children are in Vegas,
bro.
When I have to be like, excuse me, I didn't mean to bump your stroller. It's like 6:30 in the morning.
When I'm walking by a woman and a couple pushing a stroller and a nun with her tits out is handing me a flyer for an escort service.
I think we saw the same nun. Did we not see that same nun? That same
by the Flamingo Hotel.
Between Titties out nun out by Fremont.
You
missed the nun?
You saw that down in Fremont. So let me tell you something.
Fremont.
So let me tell you guys something. And I'm sure, I don't know if you guys had the same experience. I very, very much dug Old Vegas and Fremont Street. Way more than I dug the Strip.
Listen, Merle left us. Merle had to come back to reality on Sunday. So after we were somewhat sobered up and woke up again, and I had watched football, and then I realized, damn, football is gone for the day, and it's like 7 o'clock. Like, what are we supposed to do? So we just got back in another Uber and went back to Old Vegas. We went back to Old Vegas again.
That's where they have the $5 tables.
Yeah, we stayed there for like 5 hours Sunday night.
Look, Meryl, did you get a chance to go to Fremont?
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So
I went to Fremont.
That whole part of Vegas is like with the Golden Nugget. So do you guys know? You guys know where the whole? I'm sure you walked down the whole entire thing where all the lights were in between all the buildings.
All the way through.
So did you guys hear the backstory with that? So that was the back entrance of the Golden Nugget, which is on the left-hand side if you're walking towards like up the street. On the left-hand side is the Golden Nugget. On the right-hand side, I can't remember what the casino is.
Binions.
Those were the back alleys of those during Prohibition. So that's why Fremont Street is what Fremont Street is. It used to be the trafficking for the alcohol in Vegas.
It was definitely a lot of trafficking going on.
Sounds all right.
Definitely was some trafficking going on.
So anyway, good times in Vegas.
Good times.
Right. So let's talk about some football. So first of all, I want to start with the Chiefs finally go down. Right?
We do.
Man.
So everybody kind of called it, kind of expected it. Josh Allen is now apparently the best player in football, which I don't agree with, and I wanted y'all's opinion. I still think it's Lamar at this moment. I mean, he's won. He won last year. He won the MVP last year, and I don't think he's done anything this year to disprove that. And I know Merrill is a consummate Lamar kind of not hater necessarily, but
he's a Lamar critic. That's a good word. He's a Lamar critiquer. I won't even say critic. He's a critiquer.
He has limitations. I mean, they're very obvious.
He does, but what he does, he's so good at what he can do. He kind of makes up for it until one won't be able to. But right now, if it wasn't such a offensive quarterback league, I mean, I would probably put Barkley or Mixon ahead of him.
Well, dude, so we can get to Mixon in a second. But didn't the Ravens lose this weekend?
Yeah, they're 7-4.
They did lose. They did.
So, I mean, it does. You know, I think the Bills and the Ravens now have the same record. You know, both in the AFC with
the Bills only lost twice, right, or 3 times. Those twice.
And I think the Ravens have only lost 3 times,
twice.
right?
They're 9-2.
Okay, so the Ravens are 8-3.
And 7-4.
They're 7-4. Okay, and so they
started off terrible.
They're 2 games behind Pittsburgh.
So the Steelers are 9-2. Mike Tomlin just figures out a way to get shit done. You know, I mean, I don't.
8-2. They'll be 9. Well, if they win this week, they'll be 9-2. They're 8-2.
Did you guys watch any of that game?
Which one?
The Steelers game, the Steelers-Ravens game.
I saw some of it on plane.
Did you guys see the end of it where they were flipping back and forth between Russell and Justin Fields?
Yeah,
I was wondering how Justin Fields got a point, got a fantasy point, like
because he ran for like 11 yards.
Yeah,
like
and
on one play.
Dumbass, he started to slide. Mm-hmm. Thank God it was 3rd down, but he started to slide or 2nd down. He started to slide like 2 yards behind the stick. I'm like, what dumbass?
Yeah, no, it's very
that's
interesting.
They've beat the run out of Justin.
Mm-hmm.
It's taken 2 years. They want him to be a pocket dude when he would have a great 5 to 7 year career for somebody if you just say, hey, just run till you can't run anymore, and then just go to TV.
You know what's funny is that the Steelers were winning with Justin Fields, but they've been winning with Russell. They've just been putting up more points.
They just went a different way.
Because he actually can read defenses and like advance the ball with those moon balls he throws.
I mean, those are interesting, but I mean, George Pickens is the perfect receiver for something like that. You know what I mean?
He's being wasted. He's being wasted.
He is being wasted.
Yeah.
My only problem with George Pickens is that why does he think he's the same size as DK? Why is he fighting every defensive back downfield on any random play? He is fighting 5-yard run by Najee Harris, and then you see George Pickens on the back side of the screen throwing blows with some safety 25 yards downfield. Like, what is going on in the midst of these games that he is fighting everybody? I don't get it with him.
That's that dog mentality, right? That he got in college, man. I mean, I don't know if you have to dig much deeper than that. I do want to go to the opposite end of the spectrum here, and like I wish we had actually. You know what? I wish I would have asked Bruce if he wanted to come on today because we got to talk about why the Cowboys are so terrible.
No, we don't. No, we don't.
Like,
we know why.
But we do.
We know why they're terrible. But we know why they're terrible.
Yes, they can't win. Did they? I don't think they went down 20-0 like they have the last 3 weeks.
They've been down really 20-0 like 7 games in a row. Like
it was really close.
20 points in a game, like
every week, every game
in a row. They've been down by 20 points.
And at halftime, though, it was what 17-10. I think it was 17-10 at halftime.
Yeah, it was. They played okay up until that defensive touchdown that they gave up.
Like, I mean, Cooper Rush threw 50 times for 355 yards. So, like, you know, if we're gonna talk about it, he's Jameis Winston.
Yeah, he is Jameis.
And that's okay. You know what I'm saying? Just like this week, you know, I was talking to Ryan earlier, who will hopefully be on here in a few minutes. About this earlier, like he was wondering if he should start Jameis Winston or Tommy DeVito.
Not this week, not Jameis this week.
Well, but see, here's the thing though. It doesn't matter about Jameis. He's going to throw the ball 40 times a game.
40 times regardless. They're going to throw.
Regardless. It doesn't matter. So is he 20 for 40 for 250 and 2 and 3 picks? Whatever.
Yeah, you need Jameis.
Whatever. You're happy with that.
In a bye week situation, you need Jameis to go for 210, 2 touchdowns, 3 picks, and you'll be happy.
I think 210 is easy.
210.
As long as you don't have a super negative consequence for interceptions, I guess it's okay.
Well, let's say it's standard 2 point per interceptions, and you're 6 points per touchdown, so you have half half your points taken away for, you have 6 points taken away, essentially, because he is going to throw a couple picks, right?
A better comparison would be, would you rather play Jameis or run out Bryce Young against the Chiefs defense?
No.
All right. Because if you're in this kind of bye week, that's what you're talking about. DeVito, Rush, Jameis,
you cannot
Bryce.
run out Bryce Young against this Chiefs defense. Like there
Some
is
people
a
have no
real there is a real chance he scores negative points this week.
There are
Real
several
chance.
leagues where normally you get no QBs, especially even at this time of year,
Maryland.
where I can go on the waiver wire right now and Bryce Young is still on the waiver wire right now. In a 2 QB league, Bryce Young's still on the waiver wire.
Do you remember when I almost lost to Amanda because Rex Grossman had negative 6 points
against the Cardinals?
Holy shit. Like, I think that's this type of situation where like you're almost, so it doesn't look like Ryan's going to be able to join us. So I want to talk about this real quick. So if we can switch the focus to fantasy, I want to talk about how you have to be ruthless at this point of the year, right? You have to be ruthless.
Week 12, week 13, you got to start doing some shiesty.
You gotta be ruthless. So this is the series of events, the lemony snickets, if you will, that happen in this league that Ryan and I are in together. So I'm in last place. I've never finished in last place in my life in any fantasy league, except for the show league that year. And I've been playing fantasy for 24 years, right? Or how many years have we had Hoofnagel, Maryland? Or we were in Swine before that.
Yeah, Swine. I've been in Swine 24 years.
So it's 24 years that I've been playing fantasy football, right? And so I'm in last place right now. And what I did was I had a roster spot I could blow with a tight end. So pause. So I went and grabbed. No Diddy. I went and grabbed. Anthony Richardson. There's 3 quarterbacks. There's 3 quarterbacks on the waiver wire. This is a super flex league. I grabbed Anthony Richardson, who was the top quarterback, and dropped Jonnu Smith. A couple of minutes later, another manager in the league who was right above the guy that didn't have a quarterback to play, right? So he was -1 quarterback to play. That's why I grabbed a quarterback, the number 1 off the waiver wire. Ryan, who was tied with him, grabbed the other 2 quarterbacks off the waiver wire, which be Bryce Young and Tommy DeVito, right? So what happens is that this person who was second to last was not paying attention to his team in time, let the waiver wires pass, and still didn't pick up the remaining quarterbacks on the waiver wire.
Dumbass.
And it's a 2 quarterback league. So now he's forced to play a wide receiver that's scheduled to get like 6 points, where Tommy DeVito or Bryce Young is scheduled to get 20 points. Now, as I just said a few minutes ago, Bryce Young ain't getting 20 points.
Can't get 20 points.
I don't know about Tommy DeVito. He was good at some points and really terrible at some points, but we'll throw that to Merrill in a second. But like not paying attention in the last couple of weeks, because we have 3 weeks until the end of the season, and I need 3 wins to not finish in last. Now there's a punishment for this league.
Oh, well, see, that's why you're concentrating. Because otherwise, all my leagues where I'm like 8th or worse.
Right. So Ferg, neither one of y'all are golfers. Merrill more than Ferg. So what happens is that this is a league full of guys that play golf. And the loser has to play in a U.S. Open qualifier at Washington Duke in May.
Is that like a bad thing?
Yeah, because we're not good golfers against people that are trying to play in the U.S. Open. So like we're sitting there playing golf against people that are supposed to be there.
As far as the quarterback thing, I see both sides because I'm in multiple leagues. Like, I think if you're in a 2 QB league, depending on the size of the league, you have to institute a quarterback limit on positions. Yep. You have to. If you kill competitive balance with scrub teams having 6 quarterbacks sitting on their bench and they're 4 and 8, and you need a quarterback to win or get into the playoffs. Yep. Just put it at 3. That way, no one will ever have more than the backup they need, and you're going to have to drop one if you're picking up somebody else. That's the fairest way to do it.
Mind you, this is the same league. This is the same league that the commissioner traded Addison for Devon Achane.
I mean, bless him. we can get down a long path about because I actually have a question. I'm glad Ryan actually isn't coming because I actually have another snaky fantasy question I want to ask you first. But
Let's
I want
go.
Burrow. But there's a commissioner. What do you do in a league if you find out a commissioner is running two teams?
Oh shit! Like on the DL?
I don't even. I'm going to say. I'm going to say personally myself. I wasn't aware that if he was actually running two teams because I don't keep up because I have too many other things to keep up with. But apparently, while we were in Vegas, there was the trade deadline was Saturday. Yeah. There was a trade that got pushed through Sunday morning.
Shut up.
So that he wouldn't have to drop somebody. And then I guess the rest of the league kind of exploded about it. I didn't see the ripple effects until we were back home Monday, and somebody was like, well, Jeff, what do you think we should do? Do you want a refund? Blah, blah, blah.
So he managed both teams?
I'm 10-1 in a league with $100 buy-in. I don't throw him out, but I want to keep playing. I don't want everybody to get a refund.
But Ferg, so let me ask, was he the manager of both leagues?
I believe he was the manager of one, and I believe his son was the manager of another, whether in name or not.
Okay, so all right, so here's the money question. What was the trade?
It was garbagey. It was like Tyler, what's the tight end from Green Bay? Something like that.
Tyler Kraft.
It's like Tyler Kraft. It's like he forced this trade through Tyler Kraft for like Gesicki, some shit like that.
I mean, that's pretty marginal.
It is, but the fact was the trade deadline was Saturday. Right. You did this Sunday at like 12:20 before kickoff when you realized you would not have a guy.
Yeah, that's wild.
So I don't know. What do you do? Do you say everybody gets their money? Because of course, teams that are 2-10 want their money back.
All right, so let me ask you
I'm in first place.
This was the question that came up in my league, and this is going to help you. This is the question that came up in my league: is there a rule against it? If there's not a rule against it, I'm going to go with what Merrill is going to say. Yeesh. Vote on it. Bring it up at the draft next year.
Yeah.
Is there not what is the understood rule for collusion in any league?
So look, so let me say this.
There's no rule.
There is an unwritten rule. There's an unwritten rule in baseball that if there is a no hitter in the ninth inning, you don't lay down a bunt to try to get on base. Do they do it? Yes.
Absolutely.
It doesn't matter.
So if right now in Hoofnagel, my team is ass. If I pull off a trade and get like Josh Allen or something for like Dontavian Wicks, are you telling me no to you guys in the Hoofnagel are going to care?
So here's the thing with Hoofnagel.
They might care, but it doesn't matter for 2024.
But in Hoofnagel, we vote on a trade.
Do we? I know nobody ever trades. So
nobody ever trades. So I don't
really know. Do people ever vote? Do people
ever
trade?
Merrill, Ferg and I were talking about this last episode. Nobody in Hoofnagel trades, man.
No, because they don't want to be the one. They don't want to be the.
They don't want to give the title away.
Yeah.
Well, right now it's Chris's to lose, bro.
Yeah, like
Chris's team is pretty nasty, but
that's because he drafted 8 running backs in a row.
He drafted the right running backs.
It was just happened to be the right guys.
All it takes is one injury to somebody.
Yeah.
Because his team is pretty solid, but it's got some weaknesses. Because I was looking at it.
So you're saying next year in Hoofnagel we have to have a collusion rule? Like I don't even know how you would institute that. What would the rule say? No, don't do that. Like I can understand. The trade deadline has passed. Merle is our commissioner. That's the name, the commish. If Merle drops a trade through today, everybody's going to be up in arms. It doesn't matter.
That wouldn't happen. Merle's the rules deadline.
So there is a rule. So when you ask, is there a rule? There is a rule. They're not saying you can't trade with your son. We're saying trades ended Saturday at midnight for the whole year, and you push the trade through on Sunday at 12 o'clock.
Oh, there is a rule for that. Yeah,
there's a rule. So I'm saying that's a rule. What would you do?
But you didn't agree to what the penalty is for breaking the rules. What's the penalty for breaking the rules?
I have no idea because I don't think
there has to be one,
because the only person who can break the rule is the commissioner.
No, that's not true.
Yes, it is. Who else can force a trade through after the trade deadline?
Oh, yeah, nobody else can force a trade through. No.
Yeah, trade deadline is passed. He's the only person.
Then you're not in a legit league and you just need to get out.
I mean, we thought it's been legit for years.
I'll sit here and tell you. Look, I'll sit here and tell you, Ferg, and you know this, and better than anyone because you've known Merrill longer than anyone. Like that I know. If something was gonna get like a rule was gonna get broken, it ain't gonna be Merrill. And he ain't gonna be the one to push a trade through or nothing. He'd rather not be the commissioner of the league, right? So and it's whenever you have a commissioner like that, you just don't need it. You don't need it.
Yeah, I guess y'all need to come up with rules next year that he agrees to. Like if anybody is found in violation of whatever rules y'all set, then the penalty is X.
Yeah, I mean, I think the penalty has to be you give up your spot in the league. Like how do you come back?
When they came to me all in an uproar, I tried to play the voice of reason only because I'm 10-1, and it's a winner take all league. So I simply said, "Hey, it's fucked up, but he should just be ineligible for winning the title, him or his son, in case they make the playoffs and get in." And then we just worry about it, deal it from there. So if him and another guy make it to the finals, other guy just automatically wins.
Yeah.
Because you've been playing with them all year, so you have no idea what other crazy trades, and then you're not going to go back and go through every transaction. So at this point, just let it play out.
Well, okay, so let me ask you guys a question. How many leagues are y'all in that actually participate actively in trades?
Hundreds.
Really?
Hundreds. I have to keep these notifications off because people trade all day. They'll trade the same dude. Some people just are addicted to trading. They'll just trade.
It's like you're addicted to drafting.
I am. I'm addicted to drafting. I am addicted to drafting, and these people are addicted to trade. They will trade Justin Jefferson for Jamar Chase, then turn around and trade Jamar Chase for Garrett Wilson. I'm like, this is like in week 1 or 2 when everybody thought it was good. Turn around and trade Jefferson for Nico Collins, like just crazy shit. Marvin Harrison for Justin Jefferson, straight up, no, nothing else, just for the sake of being like, I'm trading.
Wow.
Yeah. And then they'd be like, they'll send me a trade, and I'd be like, decline.
I wish we could get more people. Because, dude, you know how I asked like 4 or 5 different people for trades in Hoof because the double flex is tough, bro.
It is tough.
It's hard.
It's not so much the bench isn't that deep either. And then the way the points
that's on purpose because Jonathan Edens is the reason that
Jonathan is the reason we have that. But then the way the points go, the way the points are divvied out. Yeah, 4-point quarterback. You gotta be mindful of just being like, I'm just gonna dump this dude.
Yeah.
Oh, because even Jameis in a Hoofnagel league is not as valuable as he is in the show league.
I got Jared Goff. He was 17 points projected, bro. Dude scored 35, but he was 7.
Mm-hmm.
But even like you can look when I'm looking at our Hoofnagel team, it throws me off because I'll look at a sleeper team and be like, even shitty Jalen Waddle this year. He's going to get 9-10 points on 3-4 catches. But in the Hoofnagel, in that league, he's predicted to get like 3-4. Like, what the fuck am I supposed to do with this dude? He's a wide receiver too. And y'all are saying he's going to get 4 points, 5 points.
So can we talk about this for a second, though? You bring up a really good point, Ferg. And since you are the resident Dolphins fan, I want to talk about this for a second. Jalen Waddle, Merrill, I want your reaction first, and then I want Ferg to expand. Is he droppable?
Yes.
Is he droppable? Jalen Waddle. Okay, Ferg, what do you say?
I mean, if you've got like another top.
Yeah, I mean, you better have another dude. You better have a good dude. I mean.
So here's the thing. In the last 7 weeks, he's been the wide receiver 63.
All right, so what was he last week with Tua?
I don't know.
With a full start under his belt. I think he had, 3-4 catches? But I think it's going to be like yards? That. Yeah, it's going to be like that for all Dolphin receivers. Crazily enough, in the years that I have been alive, I do not ever remember Miami having a decent tight end, ever. So apparently, Jonnu Smith now is their version of Kelsey.
I mean,
he's getting 8-9 targets a game, but it's also because they cannot block long enough to get downfield for Waddle and Tyreek to make those big plays. We have no plays over 20 yards like in the last 5 games.
All right. So first, I want you to go to the Wayback Machine, not too way back. And y'all did the same thing tight end wise. Jonnu Smith is Mike Gesicki.
He is. They should have never got rid of Gesicki.
And he's the same. He's
He
the
did
same
something.
stats, same time of year. Like
Mhm.
he went for 9 for like 105 and 2 touchdowns or
You
something like
see
that, right?
what Gesicki looks like when Higgins isn't out there, and they
He's
actually
great
say,
when Higgins
"Hey, you're
isn't
in the
there.
game plan."
He's
He's
great.
20, 30. He was all. He made Pro Bowl.
He's great.
He made the
And
Pro
we
Bowl
can
the year before we let him go to New England.
And dude, we can talk about like Joe Burrow being the number 1 quarterback in fantasy football for yards and touchdowns, and Jamar Chase being for yards, receptions, and touchdowns, and for Chase Brown being the number 5 running back in fantasy football, and then being 4 and 7. Like, I mean, it doesn't make any sense. No, it doesn't make any sense, right? But
let me play a game with y'all real quick. As far
Let's
as
do
like,
it.
I'm just curious if y'all can.
Oh, by the way, Ryan is going to join us in a few minutes. All right, go ahead, Mo.
Here, Ryan.
See if y'all can guess who's the highest scoring player this year by position per game.
Per game by
Per
position.
game, fantasy points scored. Who do you think is the number 1 quarterback that has the most point, has the best average per game played at his position?
It's got to be Josh Allen, right?
Minimum 7 games played.
It's got to be Josh Allen.
I'm gonna say Burrow or Goff. It's got to be Burrow or Goff.
Burrow's number 3.
Goff's not in the top 5. He has
Goff,
some big ones. I mean, his average would be high because he done had some big ones.
Goff is 11. He had a couple stinkers.
I don't know. Then you got me.
Lamar Jackson.
Well, I mean,
okay.
All right.
I mean,
Lamar's
yeah.
just an overall
Okay.
period, though, isn't he?
Okay. right.
Yeah, number 1 overall.
That's
Okay,
fair.
okay. What about running back? Y'all aren't gonna get
Joe
this.
Mixon.
Oh, you okay? You must.
Yeah,
have
Mixon, of course.
Yeah,
after
Joe
after Sunday,
Like,
he
dude,
definitely got
he's
to
just
get
been,
top.
he's just been
thought you would say Derrick
fantastic.
Henry.
And you
Well,
know
I
what's
said
funny?
I said earlier, Mixon or Barkley should be in the
Well,
MVP discussion,
Mixon-
but it's going to go
Mixon
to
missed-
it's going to go to QB,
Mixon missed 4 games, bro.
and he still
How
got
about-
those numbers.
No, he's
about
number 1
wide-
points per game. That's different, though.
How about wide receiver points per game?
Ooh,
Boy.
points per game. I'm not even going to look it up. I'm not going to cheat and look it up. Let's see.
Me either. Boy.
Jettas? Not Jettas.
It's not. It's
I
not
would have
Jeff
gone Godwin until he got hurt.
Oh, it definitely would have been Godwin.
Godwin is still at 4. Yeah, I would have
number
gone Godwin until he got hurt because he
Per
was
game.
headed to a crazy season.
Please don't say anything. I'm gonna.
You know, hit
Holy
yourself in the
shit.
head. You don't know this is.
Oh no, for sure. Wow, bro.
It's got to be Chase.
Jamar
It's got to
Chase.
be Jamar.
It's
Yeah,
got to
okay.
be Chase.
Okay.
I mean, even if he had did shit for like 5 other weeks, he had like 3 weeks where it was like 87 catches in 1 week. I mean,
Okay.
so
This
Right,
is what
okay.
I don't think you're gonna guess this off top, but you might if you own him. Tight end, most
K-Dot.
points per game.
K.
Who?
Dot. K. Dot.
K.
K-Dot
Dot or Trey McBride.
Who is K Dot?
K.
K.
Otten.
Oh, K. Oh no, I no.
Now, I just
Brock
picked up
Bowers.
in the last couple of
I
weeks.
is
though.
number 7.
Brock Bowers.
I would say Bowers or McDaniel or Trey McBride.
Trey
Bowers
McBride
is
only has
number
1
3.
touchdown.
Bowers is number 3.
Trey McBride only has 1 touchdown. He's not number 1.
Trey McBride is number 4.
I'm saying he getting 12 catches a game though. Good God.
Kelsey?
No.
Kelsey
No way it's Kelsey.
Is
No way it's Kelsey.
11. Tied for 11 with Kyle Pitts.
That is interesting then.
And the numbers are shitty. So it's not
It's
great.
not can't be nothing amazing. It's probably something stupid like Andrews are likely still in the top 10.
No way.
The number is 12.3. The number 1 tight end is averaging 12.3 per game played.
Kittle.
George
Yeah.
Kittle.
Yeah.
Gotta be Kittle.
Well, he
then.
has the most touchdowns. So that
Gotta
makes
be
And
Kittle.
number 2 off of last week, Taysom Hill.
Yeah. Oh well. Yeah.
How about a kick?
Yeah.
How about kicker?
Chris Boswell. That's so
Chris
easy.
Boswell.
That's so
No.
easy.
You'll never get this.
What? Chris Boswell is the number 1 kicker in football?
Number 2, tied with Matthew Wright.
Who the hell is Matthew Wright?
Oh, Aubrey. Brandon Aubrey.
Brandon
From
Aubrey, number
Dallas.
6.
Wow.
Brandon Aubrey hasn't fallen. They haven't been scoring in
This
the last
kicker
month.
has 13.3 points per game. I need to pick him up.
Is it
Yeah.
Seibert?
Yep.
Seibert from
That's it.
Washington?
Yep.
See, I wasn't thinking him because he didn't play last week. But we're doing
Yeah.
points per game. He didn't
Point
play
per
last
game.
week.
Okay.
Yeah.
I thought that was
I mean,
pretty cool.
because I know I saw
Interesting.
I was watching something on one of my teams, and I saw it happen more than once, where there were teams that had like 5 or 6 dudes that scored like 1 or 2 points, and
Mhm.
Boswell outscored all of them. Like He had like 23 fantasy points, and people had like 5 positions combined that had like 22. Because there was a real
okay, DST 11.9 is the number one DST.
Kansas City.
Minnesota.
Kansas City is
Minnesota.
Kansas City is number 19. It's Minnesota.
It's Minnesota.
Oh, wow.
Brian Flores again. He has the number one defense. That's why I say I'm interested to see if Brian Flores gets a job next year.
Where's Detroit in that?
Detroit is number
Probably
4,
top 5.
All right, so let me ask you the $64,000 question. Where is so preface. The Baltimore Ravens rush defense is number 1 in the NFL.
And their pass
the Baltimore Ravens pass defense is last 31. In the NFL.
31.
So where do they fall in that category?
Somewhere probably.
Points per game?
Yep.
Number 21 at
okay, they don't score a lot.
So 21 of 32, what do they give up?
About 27. About 27 a game.
I don't know what they give up.
I think they give up about 27 a game.
But they've only scored double digits in standard leagues in 1 week.
That's because everybody knows they can throw.
Hey, son, just throw the ball.
All right, so Ryan is joining now. He's
coming. All right,
he's not.
So
I might let him in the door.
He will be there in a second. So what I would like to talk about, just a little filler real quick. What do y'all think?
Tornado outside. What the hell's going on outside?
What do y'all think about that Tyson Jake Paul fight?
Yeah.
Because I can tell you the women's fight beforehand was Serrano got robbed, but it was a hell of a fight, bro.
I'm gonna tell you this. We were walking through Fremont. Okay, no, we were in the hotel still in the second round. When the second round came on, we went downstairs. We had gotten to Fremont, and I'm gonna tell you the conversation I heard as we were walking around. This fucking shit sucked. Who the fuck is this old motherfucker here? What the fuck was that I just watched? That's all I heard, and then I heard, but the chicks fight was pretty cool.
It was amazing. So, have you guys seen the conspiracy theories? Hey, there's my guy. Hey, buddy.
How's it going,
bro? Welcome on, Ryan, to the football show with no name. How you doing, my guy? It's good to see you.
How we doing?
The hair and the beard looking good.
Ryan has the high top fade now, and Clint has a beard. Clint has a beard. What the fuck is going on out here? I didn't recognize you guys.
Yeah. Clint, what happened to your high top fade?
It's gone, bro.
He left it in '96.
No. To be fair, I left it in 2001. So
I was close.
So Ryan, we have already, because whenever you said you were still out and about, I went ahead and told them what the deal was and how as soon as I picked up Anthony Richardson, a couple of minutes later, I saw that you picked up Tommy DeVito and Bryce Young. Was it?
Yeah.
Yeah, and Ryan. So enlighten the people as to why you did what you did.
So is everybody aware of the punishment that are?
Yes, I just told them. Yes.
So listen, by any means necessary. My golf game is terrible. I can't be the one.
I can attest.
All the professionals can't do it. So
scandalous.
I listen. Got to do guerrilla warfare out here. I'm not going to be the one golfing. So I'm in the middle. But if you look at the point system and the record, I'm not out of the woods at all. I don't have favorable matchups in the following 2 weeks.
He does not.
I've got one of the guys that's fighting at the bottom.
But do you have a toilet bowl in this league?
No.
So is you just in and you're in the bottom and you don't make the playoffs? There's no toilet, no consolation.
If you're last place, you
are subject to ridicule like no other league like you ever experienced.
It's bad.
It's bad.
If it was as simple as getting a tattoo, I would just get a tattoo on my ass, explain it to my wife, and be like, "Look at it."
Damn, you get a tattoo on your ass for life and play golf and be embarrassed. That's rough.
No, listen, man. This is bad. This is bad. And everybody knows it too. So you start to see everybody in the beginning of the season was talking a good game about, oh, well, I don't care. You start to see Aaron. I care. I was caring from the beginning.
Yes.
So,
yes, he definitely cared because his golf game is subpar, if you will. And where somebody like me who is in last place, Ryan would be my caddy if I lost, and we would have an epic time. Time.
Y'all
Hoofnagel needs to become a last place punishment league.
Agreed.
That
We
is
can vote on that.
first
That's
on
what
the
Meryl's
vote for
answer
next
is.
year.
We can vote on it.
That
That's
is
right.
first on the list for votes. Would that become a 25 rule if we vote on that, or a 26?
Yes, it wouldn't be a next year rule. It would be a year
it'd
from that rule.
be for the next season. Yeah.
Yep.
I'll tell you something. I'll say
Can
this,
we convene an emergency hearing for that?
No.
I'll say this to all y'all and to every listener you have out there. It's the best thing you could do for your fantasy football league, because you know how it goes. You have a bad year, you start to check out a little bit. You don't care.
Yeah.
I have.
But I tell you right now, I'm in 3 fantasy football leagues. Every Sunday when I sit down and watch, I don't pay attention to the other 2. There's one I pay attention to, and it's this one, because the punishment is so severe, and it makes you care, and it makes you do crazy stuff like what I did today, which is take every.
Well, see, Ryan, what my point was, what I told them earlier, my point was that neither Jeff nor Bobby paid attention enough to grab who they needed to grab. And we were on top of things and did it, which is why you're on today, so we can talk about it, because you and I had the same mindset and figured it out a little bit, where we need him to be playing fucking a tight end like Tyler Kraft.
Did you see what he did?
No, what did he do?
He stooped, so he finally figured it out and saw what happened. He picked up Trey Lance.
Hey, desperate times call for desperate measures. Desperate times call for desperate measures.
Is he starting Trey Lance?
He might.
W, baby.
Is he starting Trey Lance, Ryan? Shut your face.
QB number 1.
Shut the front door.
Wow.
So
I mean,
this
would
is-
you
this
start
is-
like Jatavian Sanders,
No,
or would
but
you
look,
take
no,
a
no,
shot
no.
at
But
Trey
you
Lance
can
getting in the
start-
game?
No,
Trey
you
Lance
can
play.
start a Cade Otton, or you can start a Evan Ingram, or you can
Anybody in
start
that. Yeah.
any fucking buddy. Somebody, you know what? Anybody that's going to get snaps. Can we say that that's logical? That's
I
who
mean,
you
that
should
would
start?
be logical to me, but I
Fucking
understand
shit, bro.
the
Yeah, I wouldn't start
desperation.
that.
I understand the desperation, Hail Mary. If you're in last or threatened with last, you're like, hey, fuck it. If I'm in 11 for 12, at that point,
Ferg.
yeah, give it.
Ferg.
Hey, fuck it.
Ferg. Is
Fuck
there any league? So, Ryan, you don't know this because you haven't watched any this year. Ferg is in 173 leagues.
373.
373 leagues. And this is
That's insane, right?
Ryan, this is not I see your shocked face and you're wondering if it's real or
This
we're
is
just
real.
playing a bit.
No,
It's
this
just-
is real.
This is real.
Fucking real.
And
Yo, they
Ferg,
make-
so I have a question for you, Ferg. Is there
Okay.
any league you have, any league at all, that you're going to start Trey Lance?
I might.
Where? Above him.
I mean, you wouldn't know the league, but okay, this is what okay, so this is what I do. When we're done here, I'll go back through these things again for Thursday night. See what happens with Thursday. I'll just focus on Thursday word players. I'll go through this again like all day Saturday to fix this. This is what happened because we were in Vegas. I couldn't do this.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, they
when
just got back from Vegas.
when the
Ryan.
games come on Sunday, I have already clicked to week 13 to see who's going on bye.
Sure.
So I need to start setting lineups because it takes a long time to set these lineups. I need to know. I keep a notebook. I have this one book. It has the full season in it, old school. And I know this league needs a QB. This league needs an RB. This league. And so when the games end on Monday night, I'm on it. When Scott Van Pelt is talking, I'm already on the waiver wire because I mostly already know if somebody sprained the ankle, got carted off, blah, blah, whose bye week is coming. So you try to get ahead. So like my problem with QBs this week was it was obvious Daniel Jones was taking an L. So if you're starting Daniel Jones, you're already hurting anyway.
Yeah.
So you run through all these leagues or you start the week before and you're like, let me go ahead and get Drew Lock. Drew Lock will at least keep Malik Neighbors relevant. And then I hate to say this about Merle, these clown-ass Giants franchise, you walk into a locker room and tell a dude who's been practicing all year to be your backup, who signed with you to be the backup when he could have signed
$4.5 million.
You're not playing.
Yeah.
We're just going to jump back to the guy who was on the inactive emergency team, and we're going to play him. Now, that tells me you're desperate. You're trying to get a high draft pick. But as fantasy dude, you're fucked.
We're trying to lose.
You're fucked. You're trying to lose.
Fuck you, Drew Lock. We still paying
I
you.
mean, like I have Bryce Young and Andy Dalton on a ton of teams because I know they're kind of hand in hand. You need one without the other. But I don't even know who the third string guy is the Panthers.
So,
if they
Merrill-
drop to him, you're ass.
Meryl,
Hey,
let
All
me
of
ask,
those fans
let
that
me
love
ask you-
Tommy DeVito are gonna be out there. All dudes with
Tommy
the
Cutlets.
the
All right,
Italian
so
last
Meryl, let
names
me
and
ask you
everything.
this.
They're gonna be out there just having a good old time.
Ryan
Meryl,
has something.
as the-
Ryan has something he wants to say.
No, hold
Wait,
on, Ryan. Hold on. Meryl. Is Malik Neighbors still relevant?
Yeah, I think they wanted him to get reps and stuff. Yeah,
I mean, it's
Okay.
unknown.
Okay.
yeah.
All right, Ryan, go for it.
I mean, you gonna throw it to him. He's gonna catch. He's gonna
Yeah.
catch. 6
Okay.
or 7. You
But
throw it
can he
I
throw
just-
it to him?
15 times.
All right, so it's Wandale dead. Let me ask you that question. Is Wandale now dead?
yes.
He's dead. He's been dead for
Because
4 weeks.
Wandale
Yes.
was running 7 yards from the line of scrimmage, and that's
So
all
he's
Daniel Jones was
done.
looking
Not
for.
anymore.
That's all
No, he's
Daniel
done.
Jones was looking for.
No, he's done. It's gonna be all running back by committee with receptions.
So 9 men in the box means
and
Tracy's dead.
Malik Neighbors. Yeah,
Mm.
that's about it.
Ryan, give us your bad news.
Man, cover
Man,
Malik Neighbors with one person if you want to.
it didn't matter, but I still got a question that's really relevant. If you take a look at Cooper Rush last week, right? And you look at Cooper Rush, you look at the Cowboys, you go, ugh. But however, if you're for a fantasy team, they're not in a bad spot because they're going to be playing from behind at all
Yep.
times.
Oh, that's what you want.
Put up numbers. Cooper Rush in our league put up 35 points last week.
We had 355.
Well, that was the conversation we had right before you jumped on. Would you rather have X or Jameis and his 220, 2 touchdowns, and 3 picks?
And we were talking about you,
give
Ryan.
me Jameis. Yeah, give me Jameis.
So you
Every
guys,
time.
So I got Jameis.
So we were talking about you, Ryan. That was the conversation.
Okay.
Yeah.
I didn't know we were specifically talking
I'm
about
gonna
you.
go back and listen to it.
Yep.
Yeah,
No,
Jameis
so
is,
Ryan
Jameis
is in
the
that.
perfect bye-week quarterback. It's
Well,
like
so-
we're saying, YOLO, just put him out there. It is
Well,
what
look,
it is.
So here's the thing, Ferg. Ryan now has 18 quarterbacks on his roster to choose from.
None of them are good.
Give me Jameis. Give me the best and the worst. Give me Jameis.
Ryan, lay out your quarterback list. We have 2 to choose from. Lay out your quarterback list.
I just don't know about playing against Pittsburgh. I don't know about
Well,
that.
look, let's hear Ryan's quarterback list and let's choose the best 2 you got. Who you got?
All right, check it out. This is from memory. So Drake May. Now listen, I did not draft, and all my quarterbacks are waiver wire. I had a rough year with injuries and whatnot.
You
So
start
May's a
Drake
good
May.
play. Yeah,
Drake,
it's a good
Drake
play.
May starter. Normally Trevor Lawrence is my other starter. He's injured and doesn't have a game this week.
Right.
So I've got Jameis Winston, who
Yes.
killed it last week, but they're playing Pittsburgh this week.
Right.
I also have Bryce Young.
Nah, I can't do that.
I also
Not
got
against Kansas City.
Tommy Cutler.
Right.
And I also have Cooper Rush.
Right.
Oh, right.
You got to start Cooper.
That's a no-brainer. Yeah.
No, hold
Rush-
on.
Oh,
So
boy.
do you start Cooper or Jameis Winston?
I'm going Jameis.
No, he gets to start 2 of them, right?
No,
It's
yeah,
2?
but you're starting Drake May.
So Drake May and either Jameis or Cooper Rush.
Right.
Cooper Rush. Oh my goodness.
I'm
you're
starting
starting
Cooper
Drake
Rush.
May and
I'm
Cooper
starting
Rush?
Cooper Rush and Jameis.
Cooper Rush and Jameis.
I'm not starting
okay.
Jameis against
So
Pittsburgh.
who?
I don't think you
so-
saw Jameis play the Chargers. He
All right.
was.
I'm going to
Yeah,
give you,
he was
okay.
not great.
Okay, I got this. I'm going to give you the quarterback stats. I'm not going to give you the name. I'm going to give you the quarterback yards each week against the Steelers since week 1. But I'm not going to tell you the name of who it did it. First week, 155. Second week, 168. Next week, 276. Next week, 352, 207, 264, 125. Somebody who came out of a game, 71. Then 227, 202, and 246.
All right, so then do me a favor. What are
I guarantee
the
all of
attempts?
them are way worse than Jameis Winston. They're
What
way
are
more
the
talented.
attempts? What are the attempts per game? in those games?
26, 26, 39, 42, 33, 38, 18. Again, this guy got pulled 4, 40, 34,
Okay,
35.
so let me ask you a
Jameis
question.
gonna have 5
Jameis
picks.
So I'm
is-
just saying.
Hold
I
on, so
think
Jameis
we
is
talked
going to
about
throw the
this
ball
2
40
weeks
times.
ago.
Easy.
The Pittsburgh name and the Ravens name carry weight on defense that they no longer have. And as fantasy players, we sometimes get locked in. We talked about this maybe 2 or 3 weeks ago. Pittsburgh, Jets, Ravens. People used to hear this name and be like, oh, I'm going to sit this guy. I'm going to sit this guy. That the rules in the NFL don't make it as such. And if you're playing against another team and you already know their offensive coordinator's getting off with 50 pass plays when they get off the plane, you start that guy. Because you only need 2 of those 50 passes to work right for you.
And so
it.
that's what I'm saying.
They
Jameis going to
can't
throw the
run
ball 40 or
They
50
won't be able
times.
to run the ball. Jameis does not know how to distinguish man from zone.
It don't matter. He's going to throw the ball 50 times.
He's going to throw 50 times.
Yeah, it don't matter.
Bad thing it gets wrong.
So you would rather have Nick Chubb against the Steelers defense counting
No.
on him, or you
I'd
want
rather
Jameis to throw it 50?
I'd rather play Cooper Rush.
So are you?
I mean, I want to play Cooper and Jameis though.
All right. Well,
No way.
So
I mean,
Because I want
Cooper
both
Rush
of
and
them.
Drake May and Cooper Rush. You play Jameis over both of those guys?
So
No,
hold
I
on.
said Cooper and Jameis this week.
All right. So
this
Ryan.
This
So
week.
But
Harold,
he's got
by the
Drake
way-
May. In his situation, he's got Drake May and Cooper. There's no
Drake
way.
May, but Drake Patriots got who this week?
That's
It
what I was
doesn't
about to
matter.
ask.
They have
Miami.
who?
They got
Who do
Miami.
the Patriots have? Okay.
Who?
You check Miami passing numbers. Even though they're shitty, even though they've lost, check Miami's
their-
numbers
their-
against
their
the pass
passing numbers
versus the
are good.
run.
Yeah.
Check the numbers
So-
against the pass versus the run with a
right,
rookie
but hold on.
QB.
But so my question is
I ain't
for
doing it.
to you.
I ain't playing
How
Jameis
is the
over
Miami pass defense against the tight end? And Merrill, as you know, I think Ryan is the resident Patriots guy.
He is,
The pass game? Yeah.
Yeah.
which is why I said it. This is why I said it.
And Ryan, you already see what Merrill is about. So
Oh, I've been on this before. I've seen like that's all right. We're cool.
Dolphins against the pass this year. Dolphins against the pass this year are number 10. They're number 10 against the pass.
I'm cool with that.
Dolphins are giving up less than 200 yards a game passing.
Bro, I know.
And you're going to bring Drake May out there?
No, I
Now,
mean,
listen to that. Now, you're going to bring Drake May out there knowing that everybody
Ryan,
averages less
okay,
than
so
200?
Ryan, I'll say this. Ferg has a point.
I'll go back to your argument that you used before. Some people look at these defenses and say, "Oh shit," but they really ain't all that. And
They're not.
I agree.
All
with
right. So then Ryan, the question.
Hold on. Let me get that out.
You finish it up. You say something else.
Let me get that out.
I agree with you with the Jets and the Ravens. Their defense isn't like that anymore. There's 2 in the league that I look at and I go, whoa, at least from a fantasy perspective. If you're playing Denver, dude, sit your guy. Denver's one of them. I got to be honest. I think Pittsburgh's the other one. I really do.
You know that Pittsburgh is only 1 spot above the Dolphins in total defense, and we're talking about the Pittsburgh as if they're like the 85 Bears. They are ranked number 8. The Dolphins in total defense is number 9. They are separated by less than 3 yards a game.
Yeah,
Oh,
but they're
And the Dolphins have only given up 4 more touchdowns this year than the Steelers.
Is
As
that
shitty
like-
as the Dolphins are. And you're going to throw Drake May out there? Come on now. Come on
They
now.
get too much pressure on the quarterback. They just get too and like pressure on James Winston is just not telling you it's a big city.
Mm.
Yeah.
I don't know.
So Merrill, you're playing Cooper Rush and Drake May. Ferg's
Absolutely.
playing Jameis and Drake May.
See,
I'm going Jameis and Drake May.
I'm going Jameson Cooper.
I'm doing
Jameis
Drake
and Cooper.
regardless. And I tell you this about the matchup between the Patriots and the Dolphins this week. Now, no one watches more freaking Patriots than me. And they're a good team to not watch. Trust me. If you get a chance. All right. But let me tell you something. So when you say teams don't really score touchdowns against the Dolphins, that's valid. However, Drake May's been putting up points every week anyways, and he doesn't do it on touchdowns. Let me tell you what the Patriots don't put the ball in the end zone. They don't do it. So the fact that the Dolphins won't let up touchdowns doesn't really scare me a whole bunch. I think
He's running the ball.
Drake May's still gonna get his.
No, he's a 40 to 50 yards a game on the ground.
Please do. Please come across that end. Please do this.
He always does, bro.
Okay, let's do this. How about this? Ryan, come back next week.
I got you.
Somebody come up
Yeah.
with a loser bet right now. You
Yeah.
take your 2 of those 3, and we are going to have something for whoever wins. Whoever
Okay, so
loses
let's
has
set,
to
so
do
let's set a
something.
line.
Something.
So let's set a line we all agree on. Merrill, let's start it with you and me.
Who are your 2 choices?
So no, let's start it with you and me here with Drake May. So let's set a line at 225.
225.
Do you think that's
I
fair?
don't know. I need to look at underdog and see what underdog.
So maybe 200. Like it's between 200 and 225.
I feel like
we need.
if you give me 200 on any NFL quarterback, I'm always going to take that bet. I mean, that's just always
Right. That's what I'm saying.
always
So
gonna
you
take
got to
that
set it at 220. So okay. So how about this? So let's cut it in half.
real quick.
So let's say 215 and 1 for Drake May. Let's say that's the line. 215 and 1.
against us.
Yeah.
Sure. Because
He's
I need
he's,
Hunter Henry to score, so I'll say
he's
215 and it's 1 to Hunter Henry.
He's 208. He's 208 on underdog.
Okay. So that's about right.
And Vegas, so Vegas has already put the fix in on that.
What
So
is
really, he's
the
probably
what
close
is
to
the
about
touchdown? over under?
189, 90.
I bet
Is
you
really?
it's 1.5. I bet you
One
the
and a half.
touchdown.
One and a half.
All right.
Not
So let's say
happening.
215 and 2 for Drake May.
Not going to
I
happen.
can see that.
All
Not
right. So
gonna
what are you taking that, Ryan?
I'm gonna take it. Look,
All right.
take it. I'm starting Drake May, so for the sake of this
All right.
argument, I'm gonna take it.
All right. So then we'll come back next week and we'll talk about this. So what are we betting on this? So Ryan,
Drake is going to go
Are
215
you gonna
and
wear
2.
a Dolphins? Are you gonna wear a Dolphins jersey?
Ooh, hold up. 215,
215
215 and 2 on over 2 touchdowns.
No. 2
No,
touchdowns.
one
Not
and a half.
over.
I was doing the
One
run.
and a half.
Oh, you
No.
said 2.
No, like 2 touchdowns.
We're
like
not giving no
215
underdog
and 2
rule. We're
touchdowns.
living in real world. Is he going to score 1 touchdown or 2?
No,
One-
he's
so
projected
over-
for 1.5 is
one
the
and a
over.
half.
Is
Yeah,
so
one-
2,
right.
so 2 is the number.
over 215 yards, not by a lot. He'll have like
215. So 215 and 1.5. Over or under? 215 and
Under.
1.5.
I got the over on 215. I got the under on 1.5. He's gonna throw 1 touchdown. The Patriots don't put the ball in the end zone.
I say he throws for 1, runs for 1, runs for 40,
Can't run for 1 yet.
and throws for 220.
He'll run, but he'll run for he'll have 4 rushes for 48 yards.
I believe in the kid. I'm excited.
I'm saying his long term is great. I'm
Yeah.
saying for fantasy purposes, since that's what we're talking about.
I know.
When it comes down to the score,
Yeah.
whether they score 40 points or they all score 10 points, I believe in the end it's going to look like Cooper Rush, Jameis Winston, Drake May. And if you're choosing 2 out of the 3, you want the 2 that score the most points. That's the bet I'm making. I don't care about the yards. All that matters is, for this purpose, who would you start? Because you just need to get the most points possible.
So who are you starting, Ryan? So all of this talk, who are you starting?
Let me look at what they got rushed to look.
I'll tell you I'll start in a minute. But you want to know the beauty of my situation? Is I hopefully don't need all the points possible
That's also great because you have 19 quarterbacks.
before he can set his lineup. So,
He's gonna have addition by subtraction. So you're gonna win regard. If Drake May scores 1 point, he's gonna outscore Trey Lance, I believe. That's
Right.
just
Oh, yeah,
I
for
feel
sure.
I feel comfortably going to bed saying that Drake May will outscore Trey Lance regardless of the situation. If Trey Lance starts the game, Drake May is still gonna outscore him.
Bruh,
I
it's
just feel like that.
bad. I don't understand. I don't understand that at all.
I mean, but you're right. I mean, there is a potential he could just, James could have 3 picks and 4 touchdowns.
Right.
And it just works
You know
out
what
like
I
that
mean?
because of the points.
Yeah.
Now, if we're
Dude.
talking real football,
I
No,
just-
get the fuck
yeah.
off my
don't.
block, Drake. Let me
I just
drive
don't.
Drake May to the stadium. But
Right,
since
you know
we're
what I
talking
mean?
fantasy,
But this,
week 12.
I'd
yeah, let me
rather
take
go.
a shot.
I'd rather go at a safe floor than like this kind of crazy.
right, and so
maybe
what the
silly.
thing?
Okay. So I say that to the safe floor is if you have locked in a playoff spot or you're going to. If you're in one of those 5 and 6 ranges, and you just got to be like, it's 9 teams tied at 5 and 6, you just got to take a
that's
shot
different.
at God.
Okay,
You
so-
got to throw it up and take a shot for the most points.
That's the first.
Because there'll never be a
first from last week.
differential,
Yeah.
but the points is the only way you're going to get in.
All right,
Yeah.
so let me ask you guys this, because in this league, it's it's a 2 QB league, so it's all about the points. It's 4 points for the passing touchdowns, or is it? No, it's 6 points for the passing touchdowns. So on the final decision, you need 20 points. You need 20 points.
Down
Are
20
you-
on Monday night.
You're
down
you
20.
are down 20 points Monday night. Are you going Cooper Rush, Jameis Winston? Because you're not going Tommy
Okay,
DeVito.
just between
you're not
those
going
two-
Bryce
Oh,
Young.
and I got to make the playoffs. I go James.
gotta make the playoffs.
Yeah.
Yeah, I got
That's
to
what I'm
get
saying.
going Jameis.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
So Ryan,
40
go
you might-
Jameis. All right. So same question. Monday Night Football. You need 20 points. You going Drake May or Cooper Rush?
Jameis.
I didn't say Jameis.
Jameis.
Drake May or Cooper Rush?
Jameis.
Great.
I'm going Cooper. I'm going
See?
Cooper.
No, Cooper, because you could get a
I'm going
couple
Cooper.
Turbin
It's
bombs.
not
Yeah.
bad anyway.
It's not so much that I dislike Drake May. It's just that you're talking about CD Lamb versus Kendrick
Okay.
Bourne or
Okay, so fair.
somebody like that. Just the
Fair.
person he's throwing
Fair.
it to is
Okay.
going to make me say, "Let me give Cooper Rush a
No,
chance."
so Ferg, that's fair, but let me say something. Let me say a stat that you know well. You know well. The rushing quarterback in fantasy football is 2-1 to
it.
the pocket passer.
I
So
get it,
so
but
Drake May is going to have 40 yards rushing.
Guess who
For
would
sure.
who
So
lead-
that, for sure, dude. I mean,
for
he's
sure.
averaging for like his over under on like Underdog and DraftKings and shit is like 35 and a half.
guess
So
who
it's
leads
like
in
like-
yards per carry as a quarterback?
Like, dude is doing it on the ground. So he's gonna get 3 to 5 yards rush, 3 to 5 points per game on the ground. So it's like, I don't know how you can really like. It has to be Drake May over Cooper Rush
So-
in that situation.
all right. So Drake May, I'm just basing on the thoughts you've given me. Drake May is going to get 40 yards. He's averaging 35 to 40. So that means you're telling me Ramondre's not doing a fucking thing. Because in the last three, Miami has given up 70 yards in the game on the game.
No, because
So
Ramondre's
you're telling me
been
your quarterback's going to get
no
50% of that?
no. Ramondre's been disgustingly consistent. So he will be no. So here's what Ramondre does because I have him in Hoofnagel. Here's what Ramondre does. He'll go 17 for 72, and then the next game he'll go 14 for 25 and a touchdown. And then the next game, he'll go 14 for 25 and a touchdown. Then the next game, he'll go 17 for 103 and a touchdown. Then the next game, he'll go 13 for 31 and no touchdown. Right? But Ramondre is grossly consistent, which is why I'm 8-3 in Hoofnagel.
I just don't see it. I just don't see Patriots being able
I
to
don't
run
see
the
it
rock.
either.
No,
You had a better shot with Drake
Explain
getting that 215 passing because
Ramondre-
I just don't see Drake being able to run the rock.
Explain Ramondre to us this year, Ryan, because we have a couple of minutes before we need to talk about Thursday night.
So I mean, here's the deal. The problem with Ramondre is not Ramondre. So Ramondre has, I forgot how many yards from scrimmage this year, but let's just pretend
Enough.
Let's say
he has 700. So
about 700.
let's
Oh,
just
look,
making up numbers.
I got you.
I got you. He has 585 yards from scrimmage this year.
And that's not just rushing.
585.
No.
How many
585
touchdowns?
total.
How many touchdowns?
I don't know.
Let's see.
And this is the problem with Ramondre. This is answering your question, Clint. It's the Patriots offensive line.
He's got 6 touchdowns.
585 yards total.
6 touchdowns.
He has
He does
like 620 yards after contact. So, and that's
33 catches.
from Patriots.com and stuff. So the Patriots offensive line is so bad. And
They are.
My point about Drake May. The Patriots had like 373 yards total offense or whatever last week, right? Something like that. Or and 350 of it was all passing or running from Drake May. And you consistently see that week after week. Their whole offense is Drake making stuff out of nothing.
Yeah.
This team is so bad at football. They need to pick another sport and pick another hobby. They're not allowed to do football. This team there's
No football.
Well, aren't the Patriots and the Dolphins fighting for last?
No,
the
we're not
AFC
playing for the
East.
last. We're gonna make the playoffs. What are you talking about?
Patriots Jets.
We're gonna make the playoffs.
Good times. That's
What the
gonna be
Patriots
good.
have? Are they've won 2 games or 3?
3.
Yeah.
3.
Yeah. And that might be rounding up, but it's 3.
We're trying. We're
I mean,
trying to go.
the
we're trying to
Patriots
go
are
2 and
the Patriots
2
are
and 15,
3-8. Jets are 3-8. Dolphins are 4-6. Bills have locked this thing away. They're 9.
And the Giants are what?
2 and whatever. We're
2 and
trying-
9.
One in the draft.
Giants
we're
are
going for
2-8.
We're trying to get Cam Ward out here, boy.
Yeah, so so that's the way that you think you're gonna go, huh?
That's what I hope because I don't want Shedeur Sanders because I don't like him or his daddy.
Yeah, no.
The Giants, Browns, and Giants,
Because
Browns,
you
and
know-
Jaguars fighting it out right now for that number 1.
Well, you know, for some reason, if y'all take Shedeur, Dion is now your head coach. So
Dion is not going
that'll
to be the head
fun.
coach.
He
In
don't
this.
want to coach grown people. He can't talk to
Dion,
grown people.
Dion is going to be the only way Dion becomes the head coach is if somehow somehow, some crazy reason, and that's the only way I can see him being a pro coach is if somehow they convince Shad Khan to be like, this Trevor Lawrence shit ain't gonna work. Dump him, draft Shador, because
Nah,
Peterson's gone. Hire Dion as the coach.
nah,
Bring them
man.
all back to the state of Florida. See how this works out. Maybe you can find somebody. If anything, hey,
Nah, the
I
way
don't
you
know.
see Dion talking to those kids, he can't talk to grown folks like that.
but
No,
I think
he'll go to
I think it
higher
comes to a
level.
certain team. When I say Jacksonville, I say Jacksonville specifically because I was looking at the age of the team.
Mm-mm.
No,
They
he'll
don't
go.
have any
Yeah,
Calais Campbell type dudes that will be like,
Mm-mm.
I played with Dion, or like,
Mm-mm.
you can't talk to me like that. But if you got a bunch of kids that grew up watching Bama, Colorado, these kids who were just in high school, who all of a sudden was watching Jackson State football all of a sudden, I
yeah,
think they tend to bend the ear a little bit more,
yeah.
especially, and this is really fucked up and crazy, but this is our generation of children. I have a 27-year-old and down. They will be more apt to listen to a dude who sold them some sneakers than a
Nah.
professor from MIT. And that's
Nah.
why I say, I'm not saying Jacksonville will win, but I could see it being all happy and roses, just like it was when Peterson got there. Oh my God, we got a
No.
Super Bowl. We got a
No.
Super Bowl coach. We're about to be back in it. And they've been just as
Nah.
bad, or
The
if not
successful
worse than they
coaches
were.
are the young guys that know how to talk to the guys, and Dion is not
Yeah.
that.
See, I
Nah.
think Dion, if Dion is a pro coach, would be more so than in Colorado a CEO. Dion as a pro coach can get a Ben Johnson to not take another job, a lot of shitty job, or whoever the next up and coming dude is under Ben
That's
Johnson,
money.
because
That's
you
money.
know you're gonna be there in the limelight, in the show,
Yeah.
and if they win 8 games, you're getting your choice of head coaching jobs next year.
Well,
If nothing else, if Dion picks up the phone and be like, "Yeah, this guy's solid.
all right. So
I
look,
approve him.
let's
He's
be real.
Nike stamped."
Let's
You're
be
gonna
real
hire
with
him.
Dion. Let's be real with Dion. If he gets an opportunity to be a head coach, he brings revenue, he brings excitement,
Cachet.
and regardless if he's going to be good, somebody's
You
going to
don't,
take
you
a
don't
chance
need
on it.
revenue in
I
the
mean,
NFL.
No,
Yeah.
but look, no, I mean
There's
not
a
necessarily, but like,
prevailing
but
there's an undercurrent
don't
of
forget-
things about Dion that I do not like. But there's the one thing I do not like about media and us as fans who keep saying Dion can't coach, but every team he's been on has been a shitty team the year before
That's
he
one.
got there,
Yeah.
and then they have
Coach
gotten better. When
He
there are
coached
plenty, and I say this and with Ryan and Clint here, there are multiple white faces who keep getting coaching jobs who are not doing the job that he is delivering. Yet
That's
the
true.
only thing I continue to hear on social media and ESPN is Dion can't coach.
I haven't
Now,
heard
if
that.
Dion can't coach and you're smart enough to say, hey, my son is going to be a Hall of Famer, and I got another kid in my back pocket that might be a Hall of Famer, I should keep my ass attached to these two motherfuckers as long as fucking possible before I get exposed. And if that is the case, so be it. It might be a Belichick. Oh, you don't have Brady anymore? I'm exposed. I mean, it might be that case, but until you find that out, I just don't like the idea. We keep saying Dion is not this, Dion is not that. Who is until they do it?
He
Right.
can't coach grown men.
Coach, but I know this. Colorado's top 25 all of a sudden.
Exactly.
I mean,
Yeah.
And I think the grown men conversation is out the window because we're not talking about 18-year-old kids who got to call their mama to get ramen noodle money. These kids are making more money than
Yeah.
the coaches.
I
Yeah.
don't think he
He's
listened
the
to how
only
he
coach
talked to
on that
those
squad that's not in the NFL
Yeah.
that's probably not making more money than some of the
Well,
coaches.
but look,
Them
but
we should do it.
like in the
Dion has
NFL,
already said this, that he does not want to coach in the pros
He
because
says
I
that.
wouldn't want.
But
no
Dion also
He-
said when they asked him, would you follow Shador? He said, right situation. Talk to me when I'm done with Colorado this year.
he ain't going nowhere.
But look, so this dude is probably going to go more upper level college than Colorado would probably
don't
be my
know.
guess. I mean, I don't
Stay
know
at Colorado
where.
without your son
I mean,
and a
look,
generational defensive
but-
back,
I mean,
or go to the pros and get 40, 50 mil.
Real talk. What's the number of college coaches that have come into the NFL and been successful?
it's a short list.
Jimmy
It's short.
Johnson.
It depends on what you define as success. Is Super Bowl success, or is a pro team like
Decent program.
John Harbaugh.
we'll say the Texans? Are the
consistently
Texans a
winning.
success with Bill O'Brien until
No.
he decided to start treating everybody else? But when he had Deshaun and he came from college,
Who?
they were decent.
Bill
O'Brien.
O'Brien.
O'Brien with the Texans. I'm trying to give
Yeah.
you guys that he might know.
Bill
Bill
O'Brien.
O'Brien was a
I
very
would call him
successful
a-
college coach with no NFL experience and came to the NFL and was successful.
No, he was.
Did Texas not make the playoffs when he was there?
No, we
That's
made
what
the
I said. What is
playoffs.
your
No.
level of
But
success?
before he got there, he was a college coach that was successful.
He's in
Penn
multiple
State.
colleges.
Yeah.
No, listen what I'm saying.
Bill O'Brien is not a hand-picked guy like Ben Johnson.
Listen
Bill
what I'm saying.
O'Brien has
Listen what I'm
been
saying.
around football.
Listen. Just listen to what I'm saying. Name the college coach with no NFL coaching experience that came to the NFL and was successful.
Bill O'Brien's not on that list. Bill O'Brien cut
No
his
experience.
under the Patriots.
You can't use that question for Dion because
That's who he
in
is.
the NFL, but he's been in the NFL.
So?
We talk about college coaches who came from Ipequah State and then coached the Sisters of the Blind, like a Kalen DeBoer, somebody who's made this trail up to where you've gotten a Bama job, but he's never been in an NFL locker room. Dion, off the rip, knows more about what the politics.
So who's the NFL player?
Because
that was
coaching
in
in
college,
the NFL is more
no
about
NFL
the politics and the
experience, and they came to
corporation
the NFL
than
with
the X's and the O's.
Perfect comp for Dion then. Mike Vrabel. So he played in the NFL and then went.
Never had coached anywhere.
No. He coached in the NFL a little bit. He coached in Kansas City before.
I mean, yeah, that's the same. That's the
But he
same.
wasn't a head coach.
No,
You said a head coach. I thought you said a head coach. I thought you said a head coach. Vrabel was not a college head coach.
No, but also D'Amico Ryans is the same as Mike.
Not a college.
Right. Same
Would
thing
you
as
say
Mike.
D'Amico's successful?
He's not an NFL player that went to college first, never coached in the NFL at all, and then got a head coaching job. It just that profile doesn't make sense.
It doesn't because Nick Saban tried it, Urban Meyer tried it. Like it doesn't work.
Maybe that's the problem. Maybe the profile should be different. Maybe the profile shouldn't be. I got this guy. He's Sean McVay's grandson, or he's associated to this Shanahan tree, and because he played or he was the assistant quality control guy for the Kansas City Chiefs. They happen to. Eberflus, prime example. These guys keep coming off this Andy Reid tree, and 99% of them are ass because they've never grinded and coached. Because Andy's the damn genius. You got Patrick, you got Chris Jones. It's Brady and them all over again. Yeah. If you got 8 Hall of Famers, and I can get a job on this staff. I don't want Belichick's job. I want the next job after we win this ring so I can do my own thing. But but then these guys are getting fired 2-3 years, a year and a half, 2 years in. Why not do something different? If a guy's in Texas, if a pro coach and a college coach are good enough to go to some program in Texas to follow their 5 receiver sets and ask offensive sets from a high school, why are we not hiring this guy? Why are we not bringing him in as an analyst and paying him $150,000 a year? Why are we not getting these guys in college and maybe putting them in a program? Okay, he's not a great quarterback, but he's been in every meeting. Saban says he's great. Why wouldn't we hire him as our video guy? We start him off like in the mailroom. 10 years from now, we grow as a coach.
I'd rather have a guy who's been coaching in the NFL for a little while.
All right, so let me ask you guys
that means you're hiring a retread. That's what
No.
Why are we hiring
Ben Johnson, somebody like that. I'm talking about a successful coordinator, a D'Amico Ryans. That's what I want, not a Dion who I don't know if he can coach grown men, and he says he doesn't want to. So.
Kellen Moore. So let me ask you.
Kellen Moore.
I don't see Kellen Moore being a head coach.
No, I mean not necessarily being a head coach.
He will be on a bad team eventually one day, but why?
So let me.
But why does Kellen Moore deserve a head coaching job in Dion?
I didn't say he deserves it more. I'm just saying, like for my team, I want a person who's been coaching grown men for a while to be our head coach. I just don't want a Dion.
You'd rather have forget Kellen Moore. Any available of the known retreads that we normally see cycle through this time of year. You want any of those guys or Dion? Those are your only options. Anybody who has been in the NFL already or Dion. And you
what about
I say NFL coach, an NFL head coach.
I don't want
somebody who has already been a head coach.
I don't want that.
But Dion has been a head coach, but you don't want him.
I want a young guy who's been coaching in the NFL as an assistant, that's an innovator, that's got some really cool ideas.
Yep.
And that's what I want as my coach.
That's the
why is it that you think I'm just curious. I'm just asking, this is not about Dion. Why is it that dudes that are what's NFL age 23 to 33 you think are more apt to listen to a dude that's 2 to 3 years older than them as opposed to a dude who has done it and is in the Hall of Fame? That's my question.
They're not used to holding playing time and scholarships over people to make them do stuff.
Change generation. I mean,
but the amount of money that they make in college makes that scholarship shit irrelevant.
Not all of them.
I'm not talking about, but your stars on your team. When you're the head coach at a
still gotta
Colorado,
manage them.
Miami,
You gotta
Bama,
talk to everybody.
you're managing the top 22 dudes. Those are the dudes who got your cell phone number, who
No,
you
you're
see in the
talking all
pictures,
of them.
who show up at the draft. Coach Saban don't show. It's not still in the NFL draft when them dudes is from Bama still getting drafted at 6'7". He's staying there for the first round guys. Maybe the
don't know.
day 2 guys on my flight hadn't got here yet.
I don't know if
Those
that's
dudes,
true or not.
the offensive coordinator and the defense coordinator
Okay.
on top 25 college teams are the 2 most important people on the whole fucking
Yeah,
campus.
no, for sure.
They control all the plays. They control all your playing time. They determine whether we're going to block you from goddamn going here, doing whatever it is you do. So I just don't get it, because that to me, that's almost saying, you know what? I'd rather have a teacher who just graduated from high school 2 years from my son teaching him than somebody who's been doing this 10, 11, 12 years.
I wanted DeMeco Ryans. I wanted Dan Campbell. I want a LaFleur.
But Dan Campbell was the head coach. Dan Campbell was our coach. So you're not.
Yeah,
so that's
and
not
he
a fair
coached in the
comparison.
NFL. And he coached in the NFL.
He was
before
the
he got a
head
job.
coach. You said a coordinator. Dan Campbell was our head coach in Miami.
But what I'm telling you is he was
And he was
coaching in the
terrible.
NFL before. So I wanted Dan Campbell type. I wanted DeMeco Ryans type. I want a Kevin O'Connell type. Or I want somebody like McVay. I don't want a college coach coming into the pros.
You
You
think
haven't
Rico
seen-
Ryans knows more about defense than Deion Sanders?
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah,
I think
a college coach is not
Deion.
successful. Tell me the
I
college
think
coach
Deion
came
holds
and
the
did it, and then
respect, though.
I'll get on it.
I think Deion holds respect that other dudes don't hold.
Right, and I could agree with that.
Mac Brown, whoever you want to name, cannot come into certain locker rooms and certain spaces
So,
in this country and demand the respect that Deion can.
all right, so it's
No.
like, do you
You can't coach
say,
no pros though.
like, let's say Ray Lewis decided to jump into coaching,
Who?
right? Like
Ray Lewis. You
is
would
he
turn
not-
Ray Lewis
is-
down?
Right. That's
Yes.
so right. No, and I respect it either way. It's just an interesting question. So I have a question for you guys. So do you think that could you see Deion kicking Norville and being the Florida State head coach and
No.
taking a step up? Why not?
I say that only because if we're talking
I feel
about
like that's
college
pretty good.
football,
College football. He
That's-
goes to Florida State. Why not?
that means all right. So what Deion's making in Colorado, you're gonna have to give him a raise. Then
And
you got to
Florida
give
State can do that.
Then you got to give Norvell the $80 million you just
Whatever,
gave
bro.
him to walk out the
They
door.
got it.
Dude, they are
Yes.
the
They
worst.
got it.
bro.
They don't have it. If
They
Florida
haven't
State
scored 20
Hold on,
points
hold on.
this year.
if
They
Florida
got
State had it, they would have stuck their ass in that
They
goddamn
have
locker
it.
and got their ass out of the ACC.
They have
don't
it.
have it. Not to pay coaches.
No, but they have it, dude. They
No,
have
they
it
don't have to
pay.
pay coaches.
Dude,
I know that. I think that you guys
alum
watch a
will
little
come
bit
out.
more pro football than college football sometimes. As a Miami dude, I actually cheat and keep up with that war chant and all the shit that they got going on. Florida State does not have the money to pay 2 number 1 guys and still goddamn stay in the NIL battle for top guys with everybody else in the country. They just
Right.
don't have it.
Well,
because
so-
they would have it if they were winning, but their collective donations have gone down half this year because they suck.
They've
Yeah.
got boosters. They've got
They
boosters.
got boosters, but them boosters don't want the boosters. And you know what's fucked up about it? The boosters that have the money want Deion.
Yeah, for sure. So Ryan, just so you know, Merrill and me are both Carolina fans. Ferg is a Carolina basketball fan, but a Miami Hurricanes football fan.
Oh,
Ferg, Ryan is a Notre Dame fan.
yo,
Hey, fuck all y'all. Fuck all y'all then.
How'd you get on that Notre Dame narcotic? Yeah, how'd that happen?
Catholics versus
You know,
convicts.
I wish I had a good story for that. You know, everything I root for is New England based. And no, I swear, geographically, it's the one team I root for that doesn't make any sense. But I grew up watching sports with my old man, and I remember asking him as a kid. Now, listen, I'm Irish as all get out.
Oh, that's it.
We had every lie built into my fanship that my dad could have pitched. I remember asking my dad, you know, because when we were little, you know, when I was little, the Patriots sucked. And I remember asking my dad, why do we root for the Patriots? He goes, because they're the home team. And I said, all right, well, why do we root for Notre Dame? He goes, I don't know. We just do. That's it.
How old are you, Ryan?
38.
All right, I know why. It's a random Saturday afternoon. It was like November
Rocket
18th,
Ishmael was on the TV.
1987. It was CBS Sports. Parsegian had just finished coaching Notre Dame, and now he was announcing every CBS Sports game. And that Catholics
Rocket.
versus Convicts T-shirt popped up in the middle of that Rocket Heisman campaign. And your dad was like, "You're a Notre Dame fan, kid."
When I started watching Notre Dame, when I first started watching, Rick Meyer was their quarterback.
Wow. Checks out.
And so
all right.
I mean, there are worse teams to be a fan of than Notre Dame.
I mean, there are worse teams,
Yeah,
but you know what? And Ryan hates this when I say this, and JC hates this when I say this.
Touchdown, Jesus.
Notre Dame is the NC State of football because they haven't won since 1988.
I gotta go.
Give me a national championship, Ryan. All right. So anyway,
hey,
I'd say Notre Dame is really more Tennessee.
Okay.
Merrill and Jeff.
They're closer to Tennessee than State.
1997. Okay, that's fair.
Yeah, they're closer to Tennessee than State because they're relevant. They're usually relevant until the end, and then they have that 1 or 2 week stumble, and because you don't get to play in the conference championship games and stuff like that, you never get to make that up.
Girlfriends, fake girlfriends, and
top
shit
15
that up.
every year.
Yeah, there'll never be a talk about a 3-loss Notre Dame team being in the playoffs, but a 3-loss Bama team can get there. 3-loss Georgia can get there. 3-loss Notre Dame can't get there.
They're a 9-10 win program.
Absolutely, they are
11-12. Which is
absolutely. All right, so we have gone way over. So what we need to talk real quick. Thursday night game is Browns Steelers. It's
didn't we talk that?
So just real quick, 36.5 over under.
I got something else to do tomorrow.
3.5 points.
Get somebody else to do it.
3.5 points Steeler victory. So it's an implied point total of what, 19 points for the Steelers.
Is at Cleveland or at Pittsburgh?
I think it's at Cleveland. So it's a field goal game.
Okay, we could have ended all of other conversations. Give me Jameis and Cleveland on the win because teams on Thursday night on the road are ass. I don't give a fuck who they are. They're ass. They show up ass.
It's in Cleveland.
Yeah, give me Cleveland.
And it's a 3.5 point Steelers favorite.
I'm taking Cleveland.
36.5.
What's the money line on this for Cleveland?
165.
I'm taking that.
Plus 165. In this game, you have to start Jameis, which we've talked about all episode. Jameis is there. You got to start Jameis. Jerry Jeudy and what he did last week and what he's been with
Cedric Tillman
so far. Well, So Jerry Jeudy has been 70 plus yards every start for Jameis Winston, and he was plus 100 with a tutty last week. So you have to start Jameis.
He has 70 yards against the Chargers.
I think so.
Yeah, Jeudy
I think he was the only thing. I think Jameis had
Jeudy started balling.
I think Jameis had 120 and Jeudy had 72.
I think Jeudy moved into Cooper's locker and it's like, I'm the one.
Yeah,
and he just took over.
Yeah,
all the shit that we drafted him for in Denver, he's been doing the last 2-3 weeks.
It's just not like he's been good with Jameis, but Nick Chubb hasn't been what Nick Chubb was supposed to be, but he's still coming back. Tillman's been good. He's a flex play.
Njoku's always good.
Njoku.
They left him out last week. They left Tillman out last week, but
yeah, they did. But Njoku gets 20 targets a game. It's pretty freaking nasty. You got to start him. On the opposite,
somebody dropped him.
He was the number one. Who dropped him?
On the opposite side of the spectrum, you have the Steelers, and you got George Pickens. So you got to start Pickens. Russell is a streaming option for sure. If you need a quarterback on a bye week, because it is a bye-apocalypse week.
It's so many.
Russell Wilson is definitely a start.
Are you starting Freiermuth?
We're supposed to talk about buys.
I mean, you got to start Freiermuth because the Browns defense is nasty against the pass.
I own Freiermuth in a lot of places that I own Kincaid, and I'm scared to wait on Kincaid. They don't buy not Kincaid, but Kittle. I'm scared to wait on Kittle.
I think Kittle's going to be fine. He almost went last week. Ferg. I think you're fine with Kittle.
There's nothing worse than that Q, that pink Q on
that pink Q at 420.
Yeah, it ain't great. It ain't great unless their backup is there.
It should be mandatory.
You know.
Just for
And it makes you
because
have to pick up
you're in
motherfuckers that you
bed.
don't want to
You're
put on
in
your
bed
team.
with DraftKings and all these betting places. You should mandatorily have to have injury lists out 11:30 for 4:00 games.
Yeah.
Like it shouldn't be no game time decision shit. Either
Yeah.
you're playing or you're not.
Like I need to
It's
make a
way too
decision
much money
between
riding on
Zach
this.
Ertz and Trey McBride. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I picked wrong.
I feel that. So, but like, so these guys that you're starting in the Thursday night game, which historically Thursday night games are not great offensive outputs. However, the road team normally shits the bed.
Shits the
in
bed.
these Thursday night games. So Browns, I would take the Browns plus the points.
Oh wait
I-
a minute. What about Chubb? Like, what's the conversation?
I
about
don't like,
starting Chubb?
dude. He
The
hasn't.
conversation
okay.
last week that I read was
You
Chubb.
have-
They didn't let Chubb run the ball because they wanted him
Okay.
to run the ball this week more than 11, 12 times because
All
they
right,
only
so
got
let me
11
ask you a
carries
question
last
then.
week.
So let me
Okay.
ask you guys a question. Do you start Nick Chubb because of draft capital? Do you start not draft capital? Do you start him
Well, you
because
probably
of
don't have any
like?
choice.
You probably don't have no choice.
Do you start him because of legacy?
No,
No,
you start him because you
it's
don't have
one
any
no
choice.
choice.
I got to
No.
start him in the league because I have no choice.
So do you have Jerome Ford?
No.
I'm not starting Jerome Ford. If
I
you want me
mean-
to believe anything that you've just said about the Steelers defense in the last
No,
hour,
you have
I'm
to
not
start Chubb
starting
though, right?
Jerome Ford.
Like you have to start Chubb,
You have to.
right? You have to start Chubb, but Chubb is like you hope
Okay,
to get.
I
10
got
points.
one. Here's a good
You hope.
comparison I've been running into. Do you pull Chubb off your bench and finally play him, or do you toss Chuba back out there again against
Chuba.
Kansas City?
Chuba, bro, Chuba every
Against
time.
Kansas City
until-
defense? You
Until
just
they
told
shut-
me I couldn't play
Dude,
anybody against Kansas City
Dude,
defense.
He
Chuba
catches
has
the
been
ball.
doing it all
He
year,
catches the ball.
Ferg.
He'll get a bunch of dump screens. He'll get
He's
a bunch
been
of
doing it all
screens.
year, Ferg.
You just told me
cannot-
Bryce wasn't going to get
No,
any passes
Ferg,
off.
It doesn't
No,
matter.
he will. Those little itty bitty passes.
Look,
Yeah.
if Bryce Young,
I'm worried
Bryce
about that
Young,
one.
like this is the
That makes me
logical line for Bryce Young. 12 for 26 for 115,
It won't be that bad.
no touchdowns, 3
No
picks.
touchdowns, 2 picks.
However,
No, it's gonna throw a lot.
Chuba has 8 catches on 10 targets for 95 yards. And
You
you're
think?
fine.
Because I just feel like
telling you.
Kansas City just said, you know
No.
what? You can't throw it anywhere else. We're just going to take Chuba out this game
Especially,
No.
especially
and
against,
force you to throw it to Leggett.
especially against Kansas City. Because here's the deal, Carolina. I mean, they're Carolina, but they're playing Kansas
Fucking
City. Right? So
Carolina.
Yeah,
they're
they suck.
playing from behind all games.
Yeah.
They're going to be
Of
trying
course
to
they are.
pass the ball, and with
Yeah.
that Kansas City pass rush, Bryce Young's going to be checked down McGee this whole
Check
game.
down. That's what I'm
McGee.
saying.
Exactly.
8 catches. 8
But-
catches for Chuba.
So Chuba over Chubb this week.
Yes.
I
Yes.
would.
Yeah.
Yes.
We're
All day,
going to
every
revisit
day.
that one next week, too.
Write it down, Ferg.
Since they got the
Write it
same
down.
name. Listen to the same name. We'll revisit Chuba versus
Write it
Chubb.
down, Ferg. Write it down. I am confident in that. So, as always, take out your flex position from Thursday night, put them in your starting positions. If you're going to be starting them, leave that flex position for what it's meant for Sunday for last minute injuries, or Monday if you absolutely need it on Monday, you have it there for that flexibility. So, Ferg, let's go to you first. Any parting? Actually, you know what, Ryan? Let's go to you first since you're the guest.
Oh, Isaiah
Anything-
Pacheco's coming back?
Yep.
Yes. Yeah, that's why
They have
Kareem Hunt's
Pacheco
points are so low.
On Fantasy Pros, they have Pacheco at 29 and Nick Chubb at 28.
Yeah.
Well, Andy Reid already said Pacheco, if he plays, he won't play a lot because Kansas City plays next Thursday.
Okay.
Yeah. And
So
they're
he
playing,
won't
but they're
play a
playing Carolina. Like they don't need.
But I'm saying
Pacheco to play.
he might get some warm up runs, but they're gonna let Kareem get his.
They're
last,
gonna let Kareem.
last
But see,
hurrah.
Kareem's fantasy projected points are like 3.5 right now.
Yeah, I think Kareem ends up having a big game.
So
against
look.
the
So
Panthers,
here's
and
what you do.
Pacheco
You
shows
got
off next
so
Thursday.
anybody that cares, and I'm gonna do this as soon as we stop this podcast, or as soon as we stop this stream. Go to FanDuel, go to DraftKings, go to wherever you ESPN bets, whatever Kareem Hunt's line is, bet the over,
Bet the over.
and just go ahead
Early.
and get that done right
It's
now.
one of those
Right.
running backs, and it's going to be Kareem Hunt is going to eat at the end of the game.
That's what.
Yeah.
That's exactly.
Well, out and
There's-
not get shit the second
Because
half.
Carolina sucks.
There's no need to put Pacheco out there in a blowout.
Oh,
All he can do is get hurt.
Put his ass back on the bench.
Yeah, but
Yeah,
why are you
nobody
even
cares.
dressing? It's Panthers.
Like,
why is he even dressing?
I-
Why are you
I-
even fucking with our emotions like that?
Dude,
Andy
he
Reid?
broke
Just play him
his
back next
tibula.
week.
He broke his tibula.
So
It's
this is
been
what, week
7
12?
weeks.
He
Would
made
you
it
play
seven.
Dowdle? Would you play Dowdle over Chubb?
What's
No.
it called?
Yes.
No, after the week he had last week.
Yeah, I'd still do it because I don't know.
Javonte?
But I
Like,
think the
Williams?
argument you just gave for Bryce applies to
I think
Cooper. Cooper's gonna throw
You're
5
right.
times, and Dallas gonna
right.
get 8 carries.
You're right.
How about
You're
Javonte?
right.
How about Javonte Williams?
Monte's back.
So
I don't know what he did. He got out of Peyton's
So
doghouse.
here's the thing: you can never believe anything Sean Payton says.
He is a liar.
Right. So whatever he says, if he says that Javonte Williams is getting the carries, don't believe it. Go to the other guy.
Well, he said Estime was going to get a lot of looks. And he got what? 4?
Go
After I
to
benched
Audric.
Javonte in a million places and play Estime.
That's what I'm saying. Go the other way.
He got 4 carries.
Go the opposite way.
Last one, DeAndre Swift.
Again, or who?
Against Minnesota. Are they against Minnesota?
DeAndre Swift instead of Chubb.
No.
Swift.
No.
Yeah, Swift. For sure.
Swift for sure.
Okay.
Oh,
all right.
Swift for sure. Like without a doubt, I'd go Swift.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Swift for sure.
So let's see. What's the total line? Is it even?
Here's one for Merle. Tyrone Tracy or Nick Chubb?
Tracy, not even close.
Tracy.
Okay.
Yeah, it's not even close.
Not even close. Tampa Bay's terrible.
So look, on FanDuel, the over on the Chiefs Panthers is 43.5. And it's 10.5 Chiefs. 10.5.
Those gonna be 40 to 3.
It's gonna be
that's it. It must be 40 to 3.
40
Is Patrick Mahomes gonna have a better day than Jameis Winston?
If the Chiefs don't win by more than 10
How about
points,
that
that'd
one?
be super
Is
shocking.
Patrick Mahomes gonna have a better fantasy day than Jameis Winston?
I'm gonna say no, and the reason is because they don't need him to.
The quarter though.
They don't need him to. They don't need him to.
Now, you argue about starting Jameis over Cooper Rush. If you have Patrick Mahomes on your team, would you start Jameis?
I'm starting Jameis.
You have to start Patrick Mahomes.
You might want to be careful because the second the Chiefs get up by 2 or 3 touchdowns, which should be done by the end of the first quarter.
By first quarter, hopefully.
Chiefs just sit on it.
That's what I'm saying. It's gonna be run.
Patrick has not been good in so long.
Look, Patrick has not been good.
I don't like that. I don't like it.
200 yards and 2 touchdowns
because
is
I'm
fine.
usually with the rule of if I drafted this dude first, I feel like I gotta die on the hill with him. I'm like, he's the greatest quarterback ever in our generation so far, other than Brady. So
Harold,
I gotta play him. But
so Harold, I'm gonna ask you a question. In Hoofnagel, in the 4-point touchdown league for the quarterbacks, you need 20 points. Patrick Mahomes or Jameis Winston?
Jameis.
Because the only answer is Jameis Winston.
It's always Jameis.
It's always Jameis.
Yeah,
it's only Jameis.
In a desperation Monday night thing, I think.
Yeah, you have to take Jameis.
I don't ever think there's
gonna.
If you need 20 points, I don't ever think there's gonna be a point
this is what
year
I'm saying.
where you're gonna have to see Patrick throw the ball 40, 50 times.
And
it's never gonna happen.
And
it just doesn't happen.
Give me a time that 20 points isn't good for a quarterback in a league, right?
Not for Patrick.
So right, but in Hoofnagel,
for the last 2 years, if you get 20 out of Patrick, you're doing pretty good.
This is what I'm saying. And so you take Jameis in this
when
situation.
you drafted him.
You take Jameis.
I don't draft Patrick Mahomes because
no, me either.
I don't either.
Draft
I draft him late or it's late. Or you force it.
I haven't drafted him in 3 years. So
Howard pass. All right. So Ryan, so we can get out of here since you're the guest. Any parting words of wisdom or parting shots you want to take? What you got?
Yeah, fuck you for saying Notre Dame's NC State.
Oh yeah, okay.
Yes. Yeah.
JC said the same thing.
Listen, here's
win a championship, bro. Like I was saying.
Here's what I will say. I asked a question about my quarterback situation. I feel like I got some good feedback from y'all. I'm gonna announce it now, and I'm gonna try to stick to my guns. But I tell you what, I am Captain Indecision. I reserve the right to change my mind.
Please do. It's your money.
But with the gun in my head right now, I'm gonna say I gotta go Drake. He's gonna get me at least 20. He's solid, right?
Okay.
He might not blow up, but I know I can count on him for 20
points, bro. 20 points.
So it's between the initial question, Jameis or Cooper.
Yep.
I'm gonna go with my Dolphins guy.
Yep.
You won't ever hear me say this a lot. I'm gonna ride with Jameis.
Yeah.
With Jameis.
I'm gonna ride with Jameis.
I'm telling you, it's the right call.
It's not that I love Jameis. I just don't trust the count.
I'm trying to eat a
It's the right call, though.
Trying to
I
eat
just
a
don't trust them.
Yeah.
I feel like Washington knows that this is their year to be like, you know what? Fuck you, Jerry. We might run 54 on your ass. Goddamn, this weekend. Fuck you. We hate Dallas. They hate them. I don't see Dallas being good this weekend. And Cooper Rush,
they're gonna suck.
I see him playing well at home, but
still up. Listen, they weren't good last week, and Cooper still put up mid-30s.
I mean, he did, but
No, they're terrible.
wait a minute. Are the Redskins getting Lattimore this weekend?
I don't think so.
Oh, okay. If they're getting Lattimore, then definitely fade Cooper.
Yeah. So, Merrill, all right. Any parting shots? Anything else you want to say to send us out?
I wish Debo didn't suck.
Same. I feel you.
Have him on 3 teams. I hate him.
You hate him?
Yeah. Yeah, I feel that way. I feel that way about a lot of things. I'm gonna let Jeff have the last word here. I hope that I can win in this league that Ryan and I have made these quarterback moves. So I am 1 win away from not being last and keeping a streak alive, so to speak. However,
that is where we've sunk to. I just don't want to be last.
If I do lose, I do get a round of golf paid for a U.S. Open qualifier. So I'm not like entirely.
Now, see, that doesn't really sound that bad.
You should have to spend the day with my boy Ryan.
It's a nice little chunk of change, yo.
You should do that round in a tutu.
Look, I'm just gonna be with my boy Ryan. Like, and hopefully I don't hit anybody in the gallery. Like, it's it's one of those things. However, I have CMC back. Tyreek Hill is now 15 points a game, which I can deal with. I got Jahmyr Gibbs. I got, I got a solid roster.
And you're in next to last?
Oh, bro, because CMC and Tyreek Hill have been dealing with what the fuck they've been dealing with.
I'll say this. Clint's been the joke of the league all year, and it's been due to injury. Now that Clint's healthy, here's what's going to happen. I'll predict this. Clint's either going to finish last.
Yep.
Or if he doesn't,
make the playoffs.
Make the playoffs and go on a run.
Yep.
Win them 7-7 runs.
Yep.
We're doing New York Giants, baby.
That's the best. Those are the best championships. Where you're like, hey, I just got in on week. Like I didn't even know I got in. I should set my lineup, and then you fuck around and win the whole damn thing.
He's gonna be.
That's not Justin. Justin won Hoopnagel like that.
Yep.
Well, it's stupid. So here's my team: Jared Goff, Tyreek Hill, Malik Neighbors, Christian McCaffrey, Jahmyr Gibbs, Trey McBride. I have DJ Moore, Kareem Hunt, Tony Pollard, T. Higgins, Brian Thomas Jr., and I'm last.
See,
I'm last.
I have a team like that.
So I play fantasy baseball, which I'm sure you have too.
Yep, same. Yep.
I kind of like the rotisserie type of
fantasy
where it's just cumulative and like whoever does the best across categories, that's how you determine the playoffs.
I like that too.
Because like you randomly play against people who have like out of control days. Somebody gets hurt, you got to buy.
Isn't that how it happens in real football though? I'm like, whoever showed up in Cincinnati last week, they didn't think Joe Burrow was going to throw for 8,000 yards when we got off the goddamn plane, and then I wouldn't be able to
control your destiny. You control your destiny because you're playing one team. But when you got a whole bunch of 12 random things that could happen that don't go your way,
right?
Like it's just a weird way to play. And so, like I kind of like.
I have to see that.
Made the best decisions and scored the most points. And that's who should make the playoffs.
I love the rotisserie. At first, I know because of your 373 leagues, you've had this happen. I had a team last week that all 12 dudes on my roster, nobody scored a touchdown.
Yeah, that happens thousands of times. That happens every week.
And it's not great. Right?
Listen, I see it all. Like I was on the side of the Jamar Chase. Like I have 2 QB leagues that had Lamar and Joe Burrow, Jamar Chase, all in one team. I scored like 250 points, and it was still like Friday morning. I already had 200 points. Shit like that. But I'm also on the other side where I be like, I got so much shit, or I'll be like, we have this argument here, and I'd be like, you know what? I am gonna go Jameis. And then Cooper scores 33. Jameis scores 24, which isn't bad, but then you lose a game by 0.12.
Well, so this is what happened to me.
And that's what gets you. It's not like, well, damn, my dude was shitty. I made a bad choice. It's like I got the most points possible, and I still lost by 0.10, 0.5, less than a point. Anybody less than a point eats me all week.
Yeah, I like rotisserie, but it's fair.
Dude, let me tell you what happened to me that week. So I still ended up winning, right? And so let me tell you what happened. So like my quarterback was 1 touchdown, 3 picks. Right. So it was
happens.
primarily I got the points for the 330 yards. Right. And so then my wide receivers are like 6 or 7 catches for like 70 or 80 or 100 yards and no touchdowns. And my running backs were 15 carries for 80 or 90 yards, no touchdowns, and 3 catches for 30 yards and no touchdowns. So I won. So you know what? And I know you guys are going to be able to relate to this. Even Ryan on this feed here. It felt like playing spades, not having any spades, but having ace king, ace king, ace king, ace king. You know, you're like, okay, I'm gonna get you 5 or 6. You know what I mean?
So before we go, I'll tell you this. When I look at my lineups, I don't look at, okay, I need Justin Jefferson to get 25. I look at, this is what whatever platform you're on thinks we're going to get 120 points. I need my wide receivers to get 40. I need my running backs to get 50. I need my quarterback to do this. I don't care how I get it. I had a lot of teams last week where it was Russell and his 6 points, but my second QB, because I didn't have anybody, was Taysom and his 43. So as far as I'm concerned, my QBs got me 50 points. I don't care how I get them. I just need to get them.
Yep, I get that.
Straight ass last week, but I had 4 dudes flirt with 40. And you know what?
Yeah,
that's all you need.
That's all you need, bro. All right, so Ferg, take us out, man. What needs to be said last here?
What needs to be said last this week? Okay, Lauren's not here. Shout out to Lauren. Lauren's a little under the weather, so that means we didn't talk about the Saints. I guess we're contractually obligated to say the word Darren Rizzi.
Oh, you know,
Drew
we can
Brees,
say Taysom
Chris
Hill.
Olave, Taysom Hill. I did say Taysom Hill.
You did,
so Lauren. That was you on the show. We did not get to the Jets. I really wanted to get to the Jets because we kind of were coming back from Vegas. So I really just kind of trickled onto the news today that Woody Johnson wanted to bench Aaron back in September. And the coach died on the hill with him, and you see what happened to him. Now, he talked shit about Saleh and them. Saleh died on the hill for Aaron Rodgers and refused to bench him at Woody Johnson's behest, and this is where we are right now. So I wanted to get to that, but I kind of didn't have all the details. I just saw it this morning for the first time.
Fuck Woody Johnson.
We can talk about it next week. We can talk about it next week when Lauren's on.
Aaron's dead. Aaron Rodgers is dead.
Yeah.
Aaron Rodgers is dead.
All right. So Ryan, I appreciate you taking your time and joining us to talk about some fantasy.
Come back again.
And some Patriots. And
you're welcome anytime.
Because now you have to. We have to cash in on these bets.
You have to come back next week and defend this Drake May after we win 47-0.
Got it. I appreciate y'all having me on.
Yeah, man, it's a good time, man. I appreciate you. So anything else, guys, before we head out?
No horn.
Bobby All right. Well, until
Aaron Brooks.
Shout out to Kendra Harrison. Pick Miami.
Geez.
Pick Miami. Go to Miami.
No.
Kendra Harrison.
Pick Carolina. Pick Carolina. All right. So until next week, for the commish, for Ryan, for Mr. Ferg up there in the top right
fuck
corner,
your team.
Tony, and fuck your team, and we will see you next week.
Later.
The fuck your team.